Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the subconscious mind and its incredible role in language learning and personal development. It's like having a hidden superpower that can transform the way we acquire new languages and grow as individuals.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So, how exactly does the subconscious mind influence language learning? I mean, isn't learning a language all about memorizing vocabulary and grammar rules?
Great question. While traditional methods focus on conscious learning, the subconscious mind works differently. It absorbs language naturally, much like how we learned our native language as children. Techniques like subconscious learning, subliminals, and code switching can enhance this process.
Hmm, that's interesting. So, are you saying that by tapping into our subconscious, we can learn languages more effectively? How do these methods work in practice?
Exactly. Let's start with subconscious learning. It's about providing your brain with understandable input, like stories or conversations in the target language. Your subconscious does the heavy lifting, absorbing grammar and vocabulary without you actively thinking about it.
Oh, like when you're watching a movie in another language and you start picking up phrases without realizing it? That's so cool.
Exactly. And then there are subliminals, which are audio or visual stimuli designed to influence the subconscious. They can reinforce positive beliefs about language learning, boosting motivation and retention.
I've heard about subliminals before, but how do they actually work? Is there any science behind them?
Subliminals work by bypassing the conscious mind and communicating directly with the subconscious. While more research is needed, some studies suggest they can influence behavior and attitudes. They're like a gentle nudge to your brain, helping you absorb language more naturally.
That's fascinating. And what about code switching? How does that fit into the picture?
Code switching is when you alternate between languages in a conversation. It can be a powerful tool for bilinguals, helping them navigate different social contexts and reinforcing their language skills. It's like flexing your linguistic muscles.
I love that analogy. So, by using these methods, we can enhance our language learning and personal growth. It sounds like a holistic approach to becoming more fluent and confident.
Absolutely. By embracing the power of the subconscious mind, we can unlock new potentials in language acquisition and personal development. It's all about trusting your brain to do what it does best. Let's dive deeper into subconscious language learning. It's a fascinating approach that stands in stark contrast to traditional conscious methods. Instead of focusing on memorizing grammar rules or vocabulary lists, subconscious learning is about immersing yourself in the language naturally.
So it's like the difference between cramming for a test and just living in the language, right? How does that actually work in practice?
Exactly. Imagine you're a child again, learning your first language. You didn't sit down with a textbook. You absorbed it through stories, conversations, and everyday interactions. Subconscious learning taps into that same process. It's about providing your brain with rich, meaningful input in the target language.
That makes sense. But is there any research to back this up? I mean, it sounds almost too good to be true.
Great point. There have been numerous studies showing the effectiveness of subconscious learning. For instance, research has demonstrated that students who engage with language through stories and conversations often outperform those who rely solely on traditional study methods.
Wow, that's impressive. So it's not just a theory, there's actual evidence supporting it. Can you give an example of how someone might incorporate this into their learning routine?
Absolutely. One effective method is to listen to audiobooks or podcasts in the target language. Choose content that interests you so you're naturally engaged. As you listen, your brain picks up on grammar patterns and vocabulary without you even realizing it.
I love that idea. It's like learning by osmosis. But what if someone feels like they're not understanding everything? Should they still keep going?
Yes, definitely. It's normal not to catch every word at first. The key is to enjoy the process and trust that your brain is working behind the scenes. Over time, you'll notice improvements in comprehension and speaking skills.
That's so encouraging. It sounds like a stress-free way to learn. Are there any other subconscious methods you recommend?
Watching movies or TV shows in the target language is another great option. The visual context helps you understand the storyline, and you can pick up new phrases and expressions along the way. Plus, it's a fun way to immerse yourself in the culture.
I can see how that would be effective. It's like turning language learning into a hobby rather than a chore. I'm definitely going to try these methods.
That's the spirit. By embracing subconscious learning, you're setting yourself up for success in a way that's both enjoyable and effective. Remember, it's all about creating a natural and engaging language environment for your brain to thrive. Now, let's explore the intriguing world of subliminals and how they can enhance language learning by tapping into the subconscious mind. It's a fascinating concept that offers unique benefits.
Subliminals? I've heard of them in the context of self-help, but how do they work for language learning?
Great question. Subliminals are typically audio or visual stimuli presented below the threshold of conscious perception. In language learning, they often consist of affirmations and language phrases embedded within music or ambient sounds. The idea is that these messages bypass the conscious mind and communicate directly with the subconscious.
So it's like giving your brain a gentle nudge to absorb the language without you actively thinking about it. That sounds pretty cool. What are the benefits of using subliminals?
One of the main benefits is increased motivation. Subliminals can reinforce positive beliefs about your ability to learn a language, boosting your confidence and encouraging you to keep going. They also aid in retention by repeatedly exposing your brain to the target language, which can enhance memory and recall.
That sounds really helpful, especially for someone who might struggle with motivation. What about stress? Can subliminals help with that too?
Absolutely. Many subliminal tracks incorporate relaxing music or nature sounds, creating a calming environment that reduces stress. This makes the learning process more enjoyable and less daunting.
I can see how that would make a big difference. But how do you actually incorporate subliminals into a language learning routine?
The key is consistency. Listen to subliminal tracks regularly, ideally daily, to reinforce the messages. You can play them during commutes, workouts, or even while you're sleeping. It's all about making them a natural part of your routine.
That sounds manageable. Are there any tips for choosing the right subliminal tracks?
Yes, it's important to choose high-quality tracks from reputable sources. Look for ones that align with your language learning goals and include affirmations in the target language. And remember, subliminals are a complementary tool, so use them alongside other learning methods.
Got it. I'm excited to try this out. It seems like a great way to enhance my language learning journey.
Absolutely. By incorporating subliminals, you're adding a powerful tool to your language learning toolkit. Just stay consistent, be patient, and enjoy the process of unlocking your brain's potential.